where visionaries, entrepreneurs, and artists dream, transform, and create. Rae TV. You are listening to Miracle Moment, and I am your host, Rae Irelan. This is where trailblazing, truth-telling, provocative, and successful entrepreneurs and creatives from around the globe share their number one miracle moment that changed everything, pointing them in the direction of igniting epic soul alignment in their life and business. These renegade souls will show you the behind-the-scenes, real-life magic on how to create a world-class lifestyle of true success. I am so glad you're tuning in. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Miracle Moment. We have Charmaine Mitchell here, tuning in from Bali today with us. And I'm so excited because the two of us connected in a large mastermind that we were a part of this last year. We actually joined at the same time. We've been in this wild journey of self-empowerment and women's empowerment and female leadership. And Charmaine is a Feng Shui coach for love and money. So I can't wait to just talk miracles with her and understand from the Feng Shui queen that we have here, how to really, what is this ancient science, the art of Feng Shui, and how it works in our modern world, and how it can also relate to the experience or possible creation of miracles or tuning into the miracle state of consciousness. So I know for myself, like Feng Shui has been such a fun tool that I've used from a young age, actually, from my mom. So I just can't wait to hear more from you. So thank you so much for being on the show.
It is my honor and my pleasure. I'm so happy to be here.
Ah, amazing. So let's just dive right in. What was your journey like to becoming a Feng Shui master, especially specifically for like love and money? Because that is interesting.
Well, okay. So many of us know, we've heard the term Feng Shui, right? We've heard that around, or we know some form of Feng Shui. And what many of us in North America know is really the Western version of Feng Shui that we've interpreted from the East. And, I was always interested, like you, like I just knew about it, and I would like try to like read things on Google or get a book, and I try to learn about it and do and implement as best I could. However, I was so into it that I went to get certified because we followed what I love, and it was a moment in my life where we're going to get into that, but I just went, oh my gosh, I want to do this. And I went and got certified, and it blew my mind wide open, because the Eastern way of doing it, there is an actual scientific formula for Feng Shui. And inside of that scientific formula, then we play with, bringing in the art and the beauty and all of that. But it's this scientific formula that's really the key. And it was coveted, the scientific formula, by emperors and empresses back in the day. They didn't want anyone to have this information, because in this sort of lack and scarcity mindset was that, well, we want to keep all of the best health, wealth, love for ourselves. So this is why. So what ended up happening was, as legend would have it, one of the masters escaped and took it out into the communities, and then they knew where the master was based on where he was, because the community would prosper all of a sudden. And they're like, oh, that's where he is. But of course, by then he had moved on, because it takes a little while for it all to implement. So it really does. The reason why I'm your Feng Shui coach for love and money is because this is what my clients experience. They experience more love and money in their lives after they start working and doing this work in Feng Shui with me.
Wow. Okay. I'm so fascinated. So can you like show us the whole system right now? No, I'm kidding. But like,
yeah,
what?
I wish I could. But that's not even a possibility, but I can tell you tons and tons of stories. But for sure, this is something that, it really blew my mind. I had no idea what that was all about. And now I I obviously do it for my clients. And then we also go into Feng Shui design. We take it to another level. That's like the art piece. But we really go through a journey together. In the beginning, it's really decide, okay, I do a natal chart. That's what I call it, is a natal chart for your home, the moment that your home took its first breath. And when I look at that, it tells me all the permanent energies, positive and negative. Well, obviously we want to downplay the negative, and when we want to activate positive. And we want to see, do you have any love, any energies to be activated? It's not every year. Every year it changes. And today, of course, is the Chinese New Year here in Bali anyway. Maybe not for you on your end, but here in Bali, it is the Chinese New Year. And so we want to take that natal chart, which is specifically for each year, changes a little bit, right? And then we want to, like I said, downplay the negative and activate the positive. And so we do that first, our first phase. Our second phase, we get into really uncovering the layers, because I really believe that our home is a mirror to our subconscious. So once we get down, we start peeling back layers. We start looking in corners. We just like really get into everything. It really starts to uncover a lot of things. Like, for example, we look at art. We look at the art on your wall. It doesn't have to be like, a Picasso that you happen to have. It can be anything you choose to decorate your home is considered art. And it's something your subconscious chose, most likely. You know what I mean? Like, that's art is typically a reflection of that. Yeah. So you could have just carried the same art with you from that place and that place, and you've had it for 20 years and you don't even realize it's there. And it's been sitting there for so long. And you're like, once you actually look at it and I ask you, so how does that make you feel? What emotion does it spark in you? And then we'll have clients who will say, poor. I feel poor when I look at that. Or they go, oh my gosh, one time a woman, she wanted to call in a partner, and we looked in her apartment and she had 22 pieces of art that had single ladies on it. This one woman. So every time she's like, I really love that art. I'm like, I love it too. So pick one or two, not 22. Because every time you're seeing it, your subconscious is saying, I'm single, I'm single, I'm single, I'm single, I'm single. So it's these things like that. So that's phase 2. We go through, peel back layers. And then phase 3 is when we get into the design, into the art, into all of that. And I do a design plan that can be implemented throughout the life of the home, of that specific home, because it's curated for that home. And it's just, it's through the evolution of your home, because it takes on a life of its own. And it takes how long it takes before we never really get it done. We never really feel complete. Like, it's always just like, the next thing and shifting and changing. And that's a good thing. But it's in that third phase then we get to play, we get to implement design. So that's how we roll in my Feng Shui world.
Wow. Okay. This is so fascinating. I love it. My mom is a painter, so I've always grown up with a lot of art on the walls and just being very picky with that. And then my dad's an architect, so design and all of this stuff, like I'm highly sensitive to all this stuff. So everything that you're saying, I'm just like, wow, this is so cool. So I kind of have two questions. Maybe you choose the direction which to go in first. Yeah. One would be like, I'm curious around like your personal miracle moment that has like gotten you like into this work. And I mean, you're just doing such fascinating, cool stuff. The second piece is I'm also really curious about the miracles that your clients get to experience through the art of Feng Shui. So I want to address both. I'm so excited. So I had to just give them both at you.
Oh, those are really greite questions. Those are really, really, really great questions. All right, let's go into my miracle moment, or like, I've said before I've said to you before we were recording, I said that I had many. So, and honestly, like, I had no idea that I would become a Feng Shui master and life coach. So it's really, I'm a Feng Shui coach because it's the combination of the two. No clue. I was a stay-at-home mom of 4 children who are now 25, 23, 21, and 17, having no clue Like I just was stay at home. That was it. There was no like, oh, this is what I'm going to do after. But then I ended up blowing up my life. I just blew up my life in about 2009, 2010. And it was at that point that the whole trajectory of what I want to say, even miracles began. And this last decade has been a decade of self-discovery, of, oh my goodness, heartbreak. I mean, where do I even begin? But let's just begin linearly. Like I blew up my life with the, you know, obviously my husband, but it was him and I together, a combination of when we first entered into the relationship that then, it was not able to be like I wasn't able to, adjust to my calling inside of me saying, okay, there's something like, what else is there? What else is there? But the relationship wasn't able to like grow with me at that time.
Totally.
So I knew that, like, I tried to like, it just was not working. So blew up my life. Right. Okay. Then, my daughter was having all kinds of issues, of course, as of, you know, their parents, tension, So one of my daughters was having addiction issues, suicidal ideation, cutting, all kinds of things like that. It really woke us up as a family. So she ended up going to wilderness therapy program. At the same time, my mom found out she had stage 4 lung cancer, and a month later she died, and I held her as she took her last breath. This was in 2012. In 2014, seems to go in 2-year cycles, doesn't it? Okay. Just aha moment there. In 2014, I was walking on the seawall in Vancouver with my current guy that I was dating at the time, who I'll get to that in a minute, but we're walking along and a cyclist came along and knocked me off the wall 12 feet on my back and broke my spine. So I had to have a spinal fusion.
Wow.
Yes. From T9 to L1, and broke my left patella and my right toe. So yeah. So that was, well, I had to learn to walk again. I knew my life was never going to change. My whole life was like out there. My kids didn't know about the guy that I was dating, even though my ex-husband did, but like, this was this was the situation. And so now it was like, boom, okay, you're out. Everything's out there now. This is, this is it.
No hiding.
And, pardon me?
No hiding.
No, exactly. That's it. So I you know, like I said, I had to learn to walk again. And so that was that part of my life. And of course, I'm so grateful because I thought I was paralyzed on the one side, and I'm so grateful that I was not. I was very, very blessed. I had an angel jump down from the wall to help me, who happened to just pass her boards as a doctor. And I still don't know who that person is. So if you ever are listening to this podcast and you are that angel, please contact me, because I want to say thank you.
Yes.
So those are some of them. And then I believe, and then I had a ton of money in my marriage. Of course, then I had no money. Now I'm divorced. And then now the guy who I thought the love of my life was, who was the other guy that was in my life, who I was walking on the seawall with, decides to leave. And utter crushing heartbreak, grief that's my own, you know, not necessarily him. He was the catalyst for it. But it was the grief of my marriage, grief of my mother, grief of my daughter, grief of like all the things, and him as well. And grief of now I'm also like devastation, not knowing, what am I going to do? What am I doing here with my life? It's always been about taking care of others and my energy out. And I just I had no choice but to look here and to look at myself and do my own work. And even though I was doing it all along, it was like, this was just boom. This was there is no messing around now. And so that was it. So I led myself through the grief and just loved life as much as I possibly could every single moment, and just brought myself back to life, honestly. And thankfully in sisterhood as well. I had a lot of sisters. I'm so grateful for that. So that was amazing. And then that was when the idea, I just went, I want to go be a Feng Shui master. Like that was, I mean, just, I was doing it for myself. I was literally doing my personal, like, you know, I want to do this. And now I had time, right? My children are a little bit older. I'm not married. I'm not in a relationship. Like I was like, oh, you know, I had time for me. I had time to start to like do things for me. And it was, oh my gosh, the catalyst, that was the best thing ever. Like that. I don't know that I would have done that, because I just would have been in another relationship being, you know, taken care of by a man or whatever, and not done this for myself. And now, you know, this next piece, why am I even in Bali? The beach house I was living in California was, the landlord said that they wanted to build their dream home, so they're going to tear it down. And I took that as a sign to go travel. I'm not that I thought I was going to be happier, because I was so freaking happy. I would live 2 blocks from the beach. I walked the beach every single morning. I loved where I lived. I have amazing friends. I was doing this work in the world, loving what I was doing. I didn't go, oh, I'm going to go travel because, oh, I'm going to be happier. I was like, I just think this would be really cool to travel to do, since I haven't been able to travel for me, and to go travel to see clients. Because now I'm an international brand. I have clients all over the world. How fun is that? So that was really the catalyst. And I didn't know that I would actually find even more parts of myself. And through this process, I had no idea that the traveling would allow me to have not even one-on-one time with my children in different cities, but also just like for myself, just the looking. I traveled solo to all the different places everywhere. Like I traveled to Tulum. I went to Vancouver with my daughter, but then I traveled like New York, saw my daughter, and then Greece was by myself, and then Bali is by myself. So it's like this kind of like this eat, pray, love tour, essentially.
Totally. Well, I hear a theme around, you know, you really doing stuff for you, and like following that internal desire of like, ooh, like I just want to do this for me. I don't want to do feng shui for any other reason other than like that's something that's calling me. And I hear the same thing being repeated in your travel, and I feel like there's a code there around when you follow that, you get into alignment with the universe because you're doing what you want. But sometimes I'm like, is it really what I want, or is it just the universe like putting the messages in my own brain saying this is what you want? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I do want that. You follow along, and it gets you back into that flow of the universe, and the support and the synchronicities just start showing up so effortlessly.
Absolutely. That is exactly, you nailed it. I have been having downloads after downloads after I call them downloads, like whispers or whatever. Well, for years, but really like I have been able to hear them here in Bali. Like I've not been able to hear them anywhere else. For some reason, I believe it's the healing. I have been doing so many healing modalities since I've been here. Just like everything, yes. I'm just a yes to all the things. I keep saying yes because I want to have the healing. I want to experience whatever it is. And I don't want to have, especially when I say, that's not going to work. That's nothing. I go, oh, I'm doing that. I'm going towards that one for sure. So I've been having a lot of healing, and it's been awakening so it's just awakened source within me. You know, I had a download on the yoga mat. I've been doing a lot of yoga. And I had a download that was like, do a challenge. Came to me was, there's so much COVID happening in the United States. There's nothing here in Bali, by the way. It's gone. Like there's been nothing, not even Omicron, like nothing happened here. So not that this is going to be about COVID. I don't mean that, but like what happened was, it was this, I feel so much for everybody in North America. And I'm like, oh, you know, like, what can I do? And then it just came to me, health, clutter, 9-day challenge, clear 9 items in 9 minutes, in 9 days, in 9 chakras in 9 days. Like that was it. And it just went, and I came home and I, boom, popped it out there. There's like 156 women in this challenge. It's a free challenge. It's now ending today. Today is the culmination of it. And I have a new group from that birthed from there, that it's a paid container that begins tomorrow, because these women had amazing results just from clearing 9 items in 9 minutes and 9 chakras in 9 days. And the 9 chakras are the 9, I say 9 chakras, because your home is like, you know, a mirror to your subconscious. So it's like as within, as so without, so within, that whole saying. So it represents all aspects of your life. And it's been blowing their minds. They're like, all they're doing is clearing. We haven't even we've only scratched the surface. We haven't even gotten into the feng shui yet. Yeah. One woman, okay, now we're getting into your second question. So one woman, she said she was really resistant on throwing things away or donating. She really wanted to sell. And one of the rules of the challenge was, it's fine if you want to sell things, but it doesn't count as your 9. So it made a lot of people really look at that. You know what I mean? Because otherwise you say, I'm going to sell that and I'm going to put it there, and it sits there till next Christmas, and then the next Christmas and the next Christmas, and you never do anything with it. So this woman who, she said, okay, well, I don't want to get rid of this furniture. Like, I want to sell this furniture. So she just put it aside. She's like, okay. And she didn't count it as her 9. And then she just said, okay, she said to God, okay, God, if I meant to donate this furniture, let me come upon $600, which is basically what it's worth. And if I do, then I will donate the furniture. So she went to go get, I call this donuts and dollars, the story. I wrote a post about it. But anyway, so she goes to get donuts and coffee, and she then gets an idea to go to the casino. She's like, I'm going to go to the casino. She's like, okay. So she said, all right, God, if I win $600, I'm going to donate that furniture tomorrow. So she ends up going, and in like 30 minutes, she wins $7,832.
Oh my gosh.
And so she came into the group. She's like, okay, I guess I got the sign that I need to get rid of stuff. Yeah. She calls herself a hoarder, a borderline hoarder is what she says. Yeah. I'm a borderline hoarder. And so she's a lot of stuff to get rid of. And so there was like, so she just came into this money. So many women in this challenge came into money coming out of the blue, not like your usual way. Like, oh, I got a job. Although somebody did get a job in the group who wanted to get a job. That was her desire at the beginning of the challenge. And, and other women were like, oh, they called in money from former employers that just popped money into their account that they were not even expecting. One woman found cash in her drawer. Another woman found checks she hadn't cashed. Money coming out of nowhere, but not the usual ways, ways that maybe the universe has been trying to give it to you, and you haven't been able to be open to receiving because you didn't make space for it,
And finally the channel's open, the space is there. It's so important. Clearing is really one of the most powerful things. And I think especially any time of the year, really, just to have a consistent practice of releasing clutter and creating that space opens up space for new possibilities, new miracles to come in, abundance, love, whatever you're calling in.
Exactly. You nailed it. Yeah, you nailed it. And in this challenge, one woman, in terms of love, we had lots of different situations, like, oh, my boyfriend seems way more attentive than he usually is, and things like that. To my knowledge, I don't believe anybody met anyone in the 4 weeks that we were doing this. It was 3 weweeks, 3 weeks that we were doing it. Even though it was a 9-day challenge, I kept the group open because people were on different schedules. Yeah. But this one woman who currently had a partner, and, things were okay, but all of a sudden she comes in to say, oh my gosh, he just came and he surprised me with a romantic getaway trip coming up soon. This gift out of the blue. And she said, and she had just worked on what I call the love chakra. And she had just cleared space, made space. She was intentional with the space. She put a picture of the two of them there. The next day, this happened. So coincidence? Maybe, whatever. It doesn't matter. All we know is this is the kind of magic that happens inside of these containers. But this was a magical container because this was a magical moment for me. Even like this is, hey, I'm going to yoga. I'm practicing yoga. I get this download. I'm in Bali. I'm doing all this healing work, and and then I follow through. I follow through on the whisper. Which how many times do we not follow through on the idea or the whisper, right?
Right.
So many. How many I've just gone, oh yeah, I'll get to that, and then it passes. This time I went, I'm doing it. And it was really for health, right? Because health that's another big, we talk about love and money, which are amazing. We all want those, but none of them matter without our health.
That's so true.
We care less.
Yeah.
Once our health happens, we get sick, we're down for the count. We're like money, love, like whatever. We don't care. We just.
First and foremost. Yeah.
That's
definitely.
Right.
So is this challenge going to be available beyond today, or like what's the best way for anyone that's listening to this down the road to connect with you? I mean, for me too, I'm like, I want in on this challenge.
Yeah. So that is a great question, which is so interesting that you asked, because yesterday I had the download. So I have this new group coming from this 9-day challenge, right? So I have the 9-week love and money Feng Shui group experience that begins tomorrow. Okay. That is going to be, so like I said, 9 weeks. We'll keep the group open for a little bit longer, but we're going to go through, like I said, we do the natal chart for everyone. So I know everyone's permanent and energies are, and the annual energies, and we're going to get in there and go deep. So it's going to be really great. So that's coming up. Now, the challenge, while it is over, I do have all of the videos and all the posts. So I'm feeling I got the download to repurpose and then sell this challenge to others. And then also I feel like this may become like an annual thing, or I may even do it like a couple of times a year. But so I'm going to just play with it. I'm going to play with it in terms of, because I want to be able to offer it in a way that's like, I need to have like a paid way, because was a lot. It was a lot more than I thought.
Yes.
Going in, because I'm like, 9 days. No, because I kept it open for 3 weeks.
Right.
So it was a lot of time. I hired a support coach because I'm in Bali and she's in New York, and this is a free container. So I still want to be able to make things available at every, for everyone. So free containers for, so right now the way to reach out to me is to follow me on social media, Instagram, Charmaine Mitchell. Same thing for Facebook, and follow along and see what's going on. And I'll let you know about anything that I'm doing. If I'm doing a masterclass for free, if I'm doing a paid masterclass, or if I've got something going on. But that's what I've got going on. Of course, I have private clients all the time, right? I have private people hire me privately. Right now I've been working on clients who are building homes. That seems to be a big thing, because they want the best possible energies. And why not get the best possible energies if you can build it, right?
Totally. I love this. Yeah, we'll put all of your links down below when we share this podcast out, so everyone can definitely stay connected, stay in touch, get into your world. Everything you're doing is just sounding so incredible. I feel like we could stay on this podcast and continue going on and on for hours. But is there one thing that you want to leave our viewers with as we wrap this up?
Yes. Go towards your fear.
I love it.
But the flip side of fear is love. So if it's scary and exciting at the same time, that's the sweet spot. And letting everyone know that it's also not for the faint of heart. It's not for the faint of heart. This moment in my life, I've never been happier in my entire life. And this is, it has come from going towards my fear, doing what I love, and breathing the whole way.
Playing that dance and breathing.
That's it. That's what I would say.
I love it.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. You got this. And if it's scary, it probably means you need to be. That's it. That's what I would say.
I love it.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. You got this. And if it's scary, it probably means you need to be doing it.
Oh, so good. Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. Thank you for just sparking so much imagination in my mind and the listeners' minds of what can be possible when we're playing with our home space and our environment and opening up, clearing. Yeah, I'm ready to go clear some things out of my closet right now. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you to all the listeners that have been with us today, and we will see you soon.
It was my honor. Thank you.
Thanks for checking out this video. Subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't yet, so you can stay up to date for new episodes coming out soon. And remember to witness and acknowledge the miracles and magic in every moment. This is Rae Irelan, and I'll see you soon.